Hey, Lance McAllister here from the big one, 700 WLW. When I need the latest high school sports coverage, I turn to the voice of the Silver Knights, Barrett Cohen, on 1890 WSCD Radio, the worldwide leader in high school sports.
Barrett Cohen, 1890 WSCD Radio, the home of your Silver Knights, and I have the distinct pleasure of having for the first time, it's Coach Mike Brown. And Coach Brown, welcome to the Knight Nation. Give us a full report.
Yeah, hey, Bert. Appreciate you taking the time to stop and talk with me. We, we're in the summer months here, but football season's really coming up close on us, and Summit football, program-wise, really hard at work. So
if it was up to us, we'd have football 24/7, 365 days a year. Coach Brown, I got a first kind of for those who might be new and unfamiliar with the Summit Country Day Silver Knights and the history behind the program of recent date is the fact that you are replacing Dan Starkey, who was the head football coach last year for a football team that was 7-3 in 2010, a very, very successful football season. In fact, coming off one of the best seasons they've had in 10 years. Coach Starkey kind of did a favor to Greg Dennis in taking that head coaching job last minute, and they said it's time to put the crown on you as head football coach. First and foremost, what was that like when they said, Coach Brown, you're the new head coach of the Summit Country Day Silver Knights? What was that like for you?
Well, it was something that we didn't really talk about much during season. We just we were on such a great run, and Coach Starkey, it was my kind of second chance to work with him, and really being the co-defensive coordinator last year, to really start to learn how he why he's been such a successful coach for the last 25, 30 years, and to be able to work with him last year, and then to have him as well as Mr. Dennis towards the end of the season say, hey, or at the end of the season say, hey, we're looking at maybe making a change, and if so, are you interested? And of course, before that they could even get the ED out of interested there, I was like, yeah, of course, these the Summit kids and the Summit football program is one of those that you just want to be a part of no matter what, and have an opportunity to be the head of that program. It's just great opportunity for me. And then of course my second question was, Coach Starkey, will you come back and run the offense for me? So when he said that, it was just kind of like, wow, this is really happening. And then from day one, all the support has just been unbelievable.
Talk, if you could, about a team last year, 7-4. You were an integral part of the coaching staff, the D coordinator for that football team, and now you really inherit a team this year. I told you we weren't going to mention any names, but I see it's been mentioned now. If I'm not mistaken, that the 2011 co-captains have been assigned already, and that's Gabe Scott, LaDon Laney. You got a very talented football team coming into this year. You got Coach Starkey coming back, helping you out with the coordinator position, and then you with your wealth experience where you coached at Ball State. It looks like this could be a perfect storm for a very successful run in this 2011 football season. But before you get to that point, you got a lot of off-season conditioning to do, maybe some basic coaching decisions you got to make, but you got to be pretty excited about the football team you've inherited going into this football season, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the first things we talked about going from 2010 to 2011 was the fact that this senior class is going to have 4 different head coaches. As important as the momentum coming out of 2010 season is, and what a great situation those 9 seniors left us in from last year. It's time for these 2011 seniors to make it their team. And first and foremost, it has to start with their, 4th head coach in as many years. The good thing we can say about it is that the entire coaching staff from last year is back. So even though Coach Starkey will be the O coordinator and I will be the head coach now, I was co-defensive coordinators with John Lynch last year, so he'll be the defensive coordinator this year, and him and I will still be bouncing some ideas off each other, but at least those same positions are in place, and the new face that we are adding to the coaching staff will be Charlie Vampel, who actually coached under Coach Miner 2 years ago. So these guys know every coach that's going to be coaching with them, and that's I think that's been a good thing going into this off season and working out over the summer, because they haven't had to get used to or get to know new coaches. The only thing we've done different is this year we have a strength conditioning football coach who's been coming in and lifting the guys 2 of the 3 lifts during the week. So, and that's been an advantage for us, to have someone who knows the program well, but who's outside the coaching staff to come in and kind of breathe a little bit of new life into our lifting conditioning program.
And I've heard a lot of people say that the Summit Country Day Silver Knights, this football program has been a cradle of coaches of sorts in the last few years. That's great. That's great for young coaches coming up and trying to get some experience. It might be bad if you're a Silver Knight fanatic. What do you say to the critics out there who might say, man, we'd like to get some consistent coaching here? Yeah, you've had all the coaching staff back. Is this a coaching staff, the nucleus that you think you could keep and make a run for several years?
I hope so. I hope we can, we have the great thing about the coaching staff is it's we have a lot of experience, with guys who, like Coach Starkey, who's coached football his whole life, and then you got, another stable of young coaches and experienced coaches alike who are, hungry to up their football knowledge every day. We just have such a dedicated staff to, not just because they love football, but really, they've really grown into Summit Country Day football. Not just looking at it as, we want to coach football and this is an opportunity for us, but it's kind of like we want to coach football at Summit Country Day, and and that's something that I've told everybody is that I want to be involved in football and having a 9-to-5 job. Not a lot of programs or any other programs I probably would have asked my bosses to work with me to be the head coach with other than Summit. Being able to be involved the last 4 years and also getting to know Mr. Dennis, that's a sacrifice and that I was hoping to be able to make, with my day job, to be able to have the time to be the head coach. And that's, a lot of the assistants that I have and the other coaches at this program, that's, they want to be a part of Summit Country Day and not just be in it just to be a coach.
It's going to be a lot of fun. I know it's been meeting a few of the coaches, and of course we've worked with Mr. Greg Dennis extensively. I got a feeling something special is building here, and it's certainly the Cowboy and I and Rob Lucas, and now a couple Summit grads are actually coming back from 10, 15 years ago and say they want to help cover this team, and we think there is definitely something special here. A couple more questions. Talk a little bit about your coaching philosophy. Now, I got to imagine, with Coach Starkey remaining on staff, you last year, there's not going to be a lot of change in continuity, perhaps, in terms of an offensive and defensive scheme. Is that safe to say, or are you going to shake things up a little bit?
That's safe to say, Barrett. You kind of hit that one right on the nose. The transition for me was kind of easy just because, of course, knowledge-wise, Coach Starkey's years ahead, and we're glad to have that on. But philosophy-wise, it was a lot of the same philosophy that Coach Bill Lynch and Coach Brady Hoke at Ball State brought me up under. It was no surprise that, especially with Coach Hoke, that we were going to win games with defense and we were going to control the ball on offense. But we would take our shots when we wanted to, and that's what Coach Starkey did last year, and that's what we're going to do this year. We're going to win games with defense, and we're going to control the ball on offense. And this year, especially, we're going to really look to our special teams to be more of a game changer as well. So, but we'll have a few wrinkles in there and open things up a little bit. But as far as basics go, defense, having the same defensive coordinator, having the same offensive coordinator, we'll have a lot of things that are the same. We don't want to switch it up too much on them, and we know the playbook well. So the better you know the playbook, the more wrinkles you can throw in. So that's what we're excited about this year.
It's going to be a lot of fun. The old adage, and I used to play over at LaSalle High School, Coach Jim Ladder always used to say, plan your work and work your plan. I got to think right now the plan is being laid down with all the coaching staff. You guys are getting ready to really hit the ground running here in about a month or so. I know there's some strength and conditioning now, but off-season strength and conditioning. But when 2 days starts? Has that been announced yet? And when will you guys? When's it going to be all out to start the football season practice-wise? Yeah, practice itself, we're allowed to start actual practice August 1st. So we'll be out there, Williams Field, or around the Summit Country Day complex there, starting August 1st, and that's when we'll have our full team
raring and ready to go. We have 10 days to practice in July, which we'll do after the 4th of July week there. And we'll have some 7-on-7s, and we'll run a few 7-on-7s, inter squad 7-on-7s, to get out there and get used to running some of our routes and sitting in some of our defenses and things like that. So we're ready to get out there and start throwing the ball around a little bit.
Well, Coach Brown, outside of the fact that you come to us from Ball State, we won't hold that against you. But outside of that, we are really looking forward to spending some many hours with you during this football season. Many successful and winning hours, we hope, in the season to come. And it all starts on August 26th. We're going to tee it up against Williamsburg. That'll be August 26th, and of course, we don't know if you guys, the football team's going to be there yet. We went ahead and set a date for the first Knights of the Round Table. It'll be the first opportunity for everybody to come on out to O'Brien's in O'Brienville, where you can talk Silver Knight football. It's my understanding they're going to have. We're trying to get a Coach Mike Brown hamburger named after you at O'Brien's. What do you think about that? Maybe a cheeseburger? Would that be better?
I usually, if I'm eating a hamburger, it has cheese on it, so that would be a good deal.
All right, well, we're going to try to get the Coach Mike Brown hamburger. Folks, you'll hear more about that. It'll be the Knights of the Round Table Thursday, August 25th, as we prepare WSCD Radio. We prepare to the football season in 2011. Coach Brown, thanks for joining us tonight. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Barrett, I tell you what, we've been preparing all summer, as you mentioned, and you guys have too. So there's a lot of excitement and buzz around Summit Football 2011, and I can tell that you guys are part of that buzz, and you'll keep it going. So we appreciate program-wide what you're doing for Summit Country Day Athletics. So,
Coach Brown, we really appreciate it. We look forward to talking to you all season long. Folks, that's head coach Mike Brown, your new head coach of the Summit Country Day Silver Knights, as he'll lead the Silver Knights starting, August 1st. They begin practice, and then get set for that first kickoff on August 26th against Williamsburg. You can catch all the action and follow all the Knights coverage, wall-to-wall Knights coverage. Coach Brown interviews and more all season long on the home of the best high school football coverage in Cincinnati. It's 1890 WSCD Radio.